Hello, hello. I'm Brenda, and my passion and purpose as a soul leader and holistic healer is to empower you on your personal journey towards soul alignment. My work centers on holistic healing, nurturing the interconnectedness of mind, body, and soul to help you thrive in every aspect of your life. I'm here to guide you in unlocking your inner wisdom, embrace deep healing, and aligning with your soul so you can flourish in your most authentic life. Thank you so much for taking part in this immersive experience. Enjoy. Hello, hello. I'm Brenda, and my work as a soul coach, holistic healer, and soul guide is all about holistic healing and soul alignment, truly thriving on all levels, mind, body, and soul. And my work uniquely supported me when my 20-year-old son Ian died from cocaine-laced fentanyl or fentanyl-laced cocaine. I never know the right way to say it anymore. I wrote about my experience and how my son's death played a huge role in my healing journey. And I'd like to read an excerpt from this experience around grief. The unimaginable had happened. There are no words. Grief changes you. It changes your DNA. My body grieved the loss of Ian heavily for months. It felt like physical pain, feeling like I had been hit by a freight train. I tried exercise and somatic therapy to help my body feel better. It wasn't until I used my own healing tool of going within and listening to my body that the aches and the pains of grief began to recede. My body told me, I carried Ian in my womb for 9 months. I birthed him into this world. I gave life to him. I love him. I miss him. Once I acknowledged the pain that my body was holding, this grief, the aches, the pains, the feeling like I had been hit by a freight train receded. I haven't felt aches and pains like that since. Now, I don't consider myself an expert on grief, but I have found myself moving with my grief since his death in September of 22 with a very unique perspective that's vastly different from most grieving people I observe. But first, let me just talk about grief, because what I've come to realize is that grief is more than the death of someone. Grief is in the death of a dream, whether it's your plans or plans for your children. Grief is in the loss of an illusion. If you've been married and divorced, gone through custody changes, you might be grieving the loss of an illusion. Grief is in the loss of a career or a job you loved. Grief is in the loss of property due to fire, flood, or any other kind of destruction. Grief is also an unmet expectations. And grief brings with it so many low-frequency emotions: shock, disbelief, guilt, shame, regret, disappointment, heartbreak, numbness, and physical pain. I discovered that I'd been holding on to grief my whole life, but I didn't realize it until I was actively grieving the death of my son. It was such a familiar feeling. And I had found myself at choice. I could either deny or shove down what I was feeling because it was just too much, too overwhelming. Yet I realized it was my mind. My mind was trying to keep me right where I was, trying to keep me safe, trying to keep me in the familiar, trying to keep me in the comfortable. But I also know that that was a fear and resistance cycle. Friends, we are designed to move through and move with our emotions and our feelings. It's scary and it's hard. And yet, this inner work is part of the human experience we're here to do and experience. So, going back to being at choice, I could not and would not deny any longer what I was feeling or what I was trying not to feel. I know too much now. So I had to face it. I had to acknowledge what I was feeling. I had to acknowledge what happened with the death of my son, but also all those other instances in my life that felt familiar. This grief felt familiar. I had to acknowledge what my body was holding on to. And sitting in that muck and mire, in that uncomfortable, I had to acknowledge how I felt about all of it, every instance. And this allowed my body to process those feelings. And all the other instances throughout my life when I felt this and my body held on to that. And it was in that process that my body began to let go of the emotions and the attachments that it had been holding. And sometimes this acknowledgement is all the body needs to shift something within you. In my humble opinion, acknowledgement is the first step towards healing. And the second follows right after it, and this is about acceptance. Now, acceptance is about no longer resisting or denying or running through old patterns of behavior. Acceptance is accepting it is what it is. This is what happened. This is how I feel. This is how I felt. This is how it affected me. This is how it affects me still. This is how I handled it, and I'm not very yada, yada, yada. You fill in the blanks. It's accepting that I can only change me. I can't change anyone else but me. You can only change you. You can't change anybody else but you. And with acceptance is all around too, giving yourself the grace and the compassion that you can, even if you've never done that before. Even if grace and compassion for yourself feels foreign and you don't deserve it. Acceptance is accepting that you do need grace and compassion from yourself. So you have acknowledge and acceptance. And the next step is learning to adapt. The definition of adapt is to become more adjusted to new conditions, no matter what you're grieving, whether it's life alone, finding a new career, giving up on a dream, having to move to a new city, state, even country. The loss of an illusion with a marriage that's ending. Adapting includes adjusting to new conditions, adjusting to your new life, your new normal. And you might be wondering, how do I do this? What steps do I need to take? How do I move forward from here? I'm devastated. You might even be wondering, can I even move forward from here? I don't know if I can. These are all great questions, valid questions. And the healing and spiritual journey that you are on requires brave and courageous action. And this process of acknowledge, accept, and adapt, this process gently supports you to move with the emotions and all your thoughts and feelings right where you are. And it's a process that I've had to come back to time and time again. One thing at a time. So I'd like for you to get comfortable. Silence your phone, turn off all notifications, put a sign on your door, letting your family know not to interrupt you for the next 30 to 45 minutes. And whether you choose to lie down or sit, get in a comfortable place where you can close your eyes and listen and go within to hear your soul's truth. So I'm going to turn my camera off as I start my music. And I want you to close your eyes. Allowing your breath to be in and out your nose. The edges of your eyes soften. Your jaw is slightly open and your shoulders drop. Allow your thoughts to pass on by. And if there's one that seems to take your attention, focus back on your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. Now turn your attention to the bottom of your ribs. Feel them expand on the in-breath and constrict on the out-breath. Stay focused on that. A few more breaths. Slow and steady breaths. Expand and soften. Now gently observe the rest of your body. Where are you holding any tightness or tension? Notice it. Shift, move, giving permission for that part of your body to relax and let go. Your eyes melt, your jaw slightly open, and your shoulders drop. Where else are you holding tightness or tension? And with this next breath, breathe in the word right and breathe out the word here. You're focused right here. Breathing in right and breathing out here. Now turning your attention to your heart, which is the connection to your mind, body, soul system. Being open and willing to receive all that you need right now. You may have a lot going on in your life. The way forward may not seem clear. You may even feel like this is one of your deepest, darkest challenges. And yet, you are here. Choosing to lean in, seeking your soul's truth. So take these moments, one breath at a time. Trusting yourself. Trusting your truth. And lean in. Embracing where you are right in this moment. And now taking a deep breath in and silently asking, what is one thing I need to acknowledge? No judgment, no attachment, just awareness. my voice will be quiet. What is one thing I need to acknowledge? Staying focused on your heart space, I want you to now ask, what is one thing I need to accept? Again, no attachment, no judgment, just awareness. What is one thing I need to accept? with this next breath. Silently repeat the word being on the in-breath and with this on the out-breath. Being with this, your soul's truth. Breathing and being, and breathing out with this. Coming back to slow and steady breaths in and out the nose. And this time asking, what is one thing I can do to help myself adapt? What is one thing I can do to help myself adapt? Enjoy this time until my voice returns. So now, coming back to your heart and this connection to your mind, body, soul system. Gratitude for the truths already revealed. Now take one last long, slow, deep breath in as you listen for anything else. Now allowing the energy of awareness to travel up into your body with your breath. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Rub your hands on your thighs as the energy of awareness travels higher up into your body, bringing more and more consciousness into each moment. Open and close your hands, becoming even more grounded and present in your current environment. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. Now, before you rush up and grab your phone or begin thinking about the next thing you have to do, I invite you to simply stay right where you are for a few more minutes. Allow this experience to fully integrate into your mind, body, and soul. This may look like sitting with your eyes closed and soaking in this new awareness for a few more minutes. Or you might pull out your journal and get out the thoughts that might be swirling in your head. Or maybe you feel compelled to go outside and take a short walk and breathe in some fresh air. Your body will guide you to what's right for today. Follow its nudge.